It all started on the 15th of Feb when I suddenly woke up one morning and just feeling empty, like this pitish feeling in my stomach. I woke up like feeling directionless. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And luckily at that time, they come every few months and spend some time with me. And actually that was the day that I think a day or two after that they were leaving or something like that. They were getting ready to go to the airport, and I usually go and sit with them in the room before they leave, and I started crying. And so she said, oh, are you okay? And I know, because it's always tough to leave family. Every time I go to Bangalore and I have to leave, or they come to Bombay, it's tough. So she thought maybe it's one of those, don't worry. And I kept crying, and I think she could sort of sense that something was wrong. So I would keep crying. I couldn't understand what was happening to me. There were times where I'd feel okay, and there were times where I'd feel really low. Sometimes being out around people helped, but sometimes it didn't help. I don't think that's in my control, and I don't think that it's in control of the people who are surrounding me. Went abroad for an award show. I thought, going all the way to America, maybe I'll just feel better, just getting away. Again, when I was out and about and with people, I'd feel okay. When I came back to my room, I wouldn't feel okay. There were days when I'd wake up and feel like it was just too exhausting. I didn't want to wake up. There were days where I just wanted to be in bed, just sleep, not wake up. It's definitely scary. And I think that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it's been so hard for me that I don't want anyone else to go through it.
Being alert helps a lot. Whether it's the family, whether it's close friends, whether it's your colleagues at work, don't assume when a person is crying, breaking down or crying all the time, don't assume that they're doing it for attention, or don't assume they're going through mood swings. If it's happening repeatedly, have a chat with them, find out what's bothering them, and then try to get in a counselor. Convince the person that you need to see a counselor. And then if required, it's the counselor who will put you onto a doctor. And the person concerned needs a lot of convincing. You need to convince them that, look, just as it's like any other ailment, just as you could be having any other physical ailment, this is a mind ailment. You need to see a doctor, you need to take medication. I could sense, because she's normally a very happy person and she's a very strong person. She can take on practically anything in life. So her constant breaking down itself alerted me, and I knew immediately that this is an ailment.
Sometimes people who don't really understand what anxiety and depression is all about, sometimes, hey, come on, you'll be okay, and like acting happy in front of the person or playing loud music. And for me, it had completely opposite effect. And I started questioning a lot of like strange questions in my head, like, oh, why is that person so happy? Then why am I so sad? And then I start feeling even worse. And I quickly want to say that there's a huge difference between being sad and being depressed. Sadness comes from a different place in my body and in my stomach. Having anxiety and going through depression comes from a completely different, and it does something completely different to my body. So I think I'm looking at the larger picture. This is really not about me right now. I think it's really about the lives that hopefully we will impact, for everyone who's watching this interview, and for people who have been through or are going through right now, or for families whose somebody dear to them is going through it. I hope that they take this as an example and they listen to what we're saying and hopefully help the people around them. And for me, that is more important. Even if we can impact one life or save that one person from taking their life because they're so down and out, I think we've achieved what we wanted.